Peace, grace and peace, guys. This is your girl, Deborah Catchy by Faith, here just to talk about what's going on in these streets. Um, with the recent death of George Floyd, has transpired into a national um, national protest about his killing. That we all know, we all see it on the news, we read it in the papers, we hear it in the streets, we see the t-shirts, we see the media coverage and everything about the senseless killing of this young man who I didn't know had a twin. If you look at my video from that I posted with his with the activists and stuff on there, they expressed themselves about his brother being killed, and the young lady expressed, what's going on and how they all feel, and pretty much they feel like their back is against the wall, and when your back is up against the wall, you tend to be like at the bottom. You're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now, I'm all for protesting. I'm all for protesting. Yes, I am. But what I don't like is, you have the freedom of speech to march and to say what you have to say, however you choose to say it. But the violence, I don't think two wrongs make a right. So it's the violence part that I'm mostly concerned about, especially with our young men, because as you see on, since this thing transpired, it's bigger, really bigger than the Eric Gardner, when, they protest and stuff like that, but it seems to me that this year is more intense, and I believe because of what's been going on globally with the pandemic, with the shut-ins, with the with the isolations, with people losing jobs, with their finances, being low or being extinguished, um, being in the house with the kids, being stuck with your wife or your spouse or your significant other, nowhere to go, not too much, nothing to do. So with this protest, it just was something to do, and everybody just jumped on out there to support, which nothing's wrong with supporting, but it's what you do. When your back up is up against the wall and you just come out blazing, you're sick and tired of being treated in such a way, in an inhumane way, where our other Caucasian brothers and sisters, they get a slap on the wrist, or they get the media attention, or, once they holler, then, you got the whole SWAT team out there. And then when it comes to us, and this been going on since the beginning of time, since slavery days, that we have always been mistreated. We have always been the one at the bottom of the totem pole. We've always been the one that can never come up. And then when we do come up, there's always somehow another jealousy or something kicks in where they just get wiped out. So I'm all for protesting, and even the video, and I'm glad the young lady videotaped everything and caught it all on camera, because as George Floyd was being picked up, mind you, it was 4 cops. One got arrested. They should have all got arrested, because it was one guy on his neck, another guy on his body, and 2 just was hanging around. Now, that don't make it right, because had it been vice versa, if 4 friends went to a store, one robbed the store, and the other 3 just hung around and just looked, when they get caught, they all going to jail together, and they all going to be convicted together, and they all going to go down for the same crime, even though they may have not touched anything. Same thing for these cops. They all four were there. They all partake or did or just hung, just willy-nilly. Because as we know, there's a code of conduct with our police departments where they stick up for one another no matter what. So hopefully through God's grace, something that mom and that brother and those kids will get some justice out of this here. Um, like I say, for the violence part, it's starting to escalate a little more with the tearing up your neighborhood. I cannot get with that tearing up your neighborhood because at the end of the day, these are the stores that you need to go to, and why you gonna tear up your hood when you're living right there in the hood? It's not like you're moving out. You're gonna tear it up and move out somewhere. No, you're gonna be stuck right there, looking at all the damages, and now you need to go to the store and get some stuff, and there is no store. So I'm not for it. The two wrongs don't make a right. And now that our people are stepping up because they're angry, their backs against the wall, they're getting frustrated, so now they're starting to come out fighting. I instead of coming out fighting and blazing, we have to think, you know, we have to start. This is the time now to even trust God even more so. It is so much going on at one time. So much going on. When you think one thing is being kind of cleared up, here comes something else. And that's the way the enemy works. He just piles on more and more and more and more and more. And they saying the pandemic was killing most of minorities. I don't believe that. I don't believe how something could come from China that was made up from China and that was dealing, was hitting everybody in China. Now it became a black thing. No, I think it's just a cover up to get us angry, get us upset, get us mad, to take us out. Pretty much, that's just how I feel. So in that type of thinking, you have to know that the enemy is in the background, pushing for more disturbance, pushing for more bull crap, pushing for more negativity towards us, to hold us down and just to wipe us out. But the devil is a liar. He is a liar. And we as a people, we have to think and not react so quick. We have to, when we're oppressed from being beaten, kicked, picked up, stopped for no reason, frisked, slapped around, you know, just being talked to like we're nothing, we tend to get frustrated and so angry, and the buildup is up to here. It done piled up, that now it's like over the top. It's really over the top. And we have to know that we have to keep even though our backs is up against the wall, we still have to keep out that courage and conviction. That courage and conviction, like Paul, when he was on trial before Felix, the Roman military officer, you know, who wanted him to lose courage and to lose conviction, so he can say, you know, anything that'll get him off the hook. Just say any old daggone thing. You know, that would embed him more and catch him out there in so many lies. And that's what they're like doing now. They're provoking. They're poking the bear. Poke, 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 poke. Where they keep on poking and keep on poking. They want us to be angry. They want us to be mad. They want us to retaliate because they want to arrest us and they want to try to get rid of us if they can. So we have to, it would have been, I'm all for protesting, but we need to learn how to have peaceful protesting. You know, we have to use our minds and our wisdom. But at these days and times, with all the anger and frustration, people are not turning their hearts to God. They're turning away from it because they're not thinking. They're doing everything on their own, everything out of a whim, everything out of being oppressed for so long. And there's very few um, I see that there's very few people, uh, political and of higher status, that's stepping out on the forefront for these for these people, because you can't condone violence and then you want somebody to back you up that's have a leg to stand on. Give them a leg to stand on. Right now, the ball is in our court as far as getting justice um, for all this that has been going on through the years. And as I constantly look on social media, I'm seeing cops beating women, knocking them to the ground, punching them in the face, and they shooting them, they're macing them, they treating them just like dirt, and the people are getting angrier and angrier, and they're throwing things, and they're burning things, and they're just busting up stuff. It's just too chaotic. We have to we have to know when a ball is in our court, not let not let that bear keep poking you to provoke you to do the wrong thing. Because the only thing they're doing, they want to stand there and intimidate you. Like, yeah, you're the N word. Yeah, you're this, you're that. So because you can verbally hit them from word for word. That pisses them off. And I have seen it done with the young guys that be outside, where the cops provoke them by calling them stupid, by calling them ugly, by calling them dumb, by calling them uneducated, and then they get mad behind that because of their morale. They shoot back and they start, getting huffy with them, and this is what they want. They want you to get more aggressive with them. The more aggressive you, then they got you. And 9 times out of 10, they fall into that trap. They fall into that trap, and that's how the devil is. He will jump in there and just provoke you and pick with you and tell you what you aren't. Where if you had some type of godly sense, you would know what God called you to be and who made you and who's your father. That you're not trash. You're not dirt. You're not stupid. You're not dumb. Because everything God makes is perfect. Now it's up to us to take it further, to educate ourselves. But it's just getting too out of hand. So when your back is up against the wall, we have to we have to stay encouraged and know that God is 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 bigger than the wall that our back is up against. We have to keep the conviction, because God is better than our backs up in the wall. Only God can bring us out of this here. If this is the time of prayer, I mean so deep rooted prayer. We need the prayer warriors. We need whatever it takes. We need to even get back out in these streets. I don't care if it's 6 feet apart, whatever it is apart. We can still, as a church, do what needs to be done to help save some of our youth and our young adults, because Jesus is the answer, and people just don't hear it or see it, because all they see is just the chaos and what's coming at them. That's what they see with their natural eye, what's coming at them. But if they see with their natural sense, then they know that there's something out there greater, bigger, badder than any gun, any lieutenant, any bullet. You know, God is a God of, he says, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. But we're out here taking vengeance for ourselves. And that's where we mess up at. And that's where we jumping in front of what God needs to do. We jumping in front of it. When things we see on one hand, things trying to get better, here comes something else. Here comes something else. And I pray that, we have to put God first. If you want to protest with words, strong, intelligent words. that people can see that we are intelligent people. We're not rowdy and so destitute that we're ignorant. You know, it would have been fantastic if everybody would have just prayed at that, just stood there and just threw out scriptures and just prayed at the same time and just locked in and tuned in with God. And that would have been more power than they could ever have, because they wouldn't expect that. They would not have expected that. They would expect for the violence and the poking and the this and the that, and for they can intimidate you to make you want to, do something. If we would have just stood there and just prayed or just call out on the name of Jesus, that Father, we know that you're here with us. We know that you are help. We know that you are before us in this situation. You know that justice is going to be served and that you have our back. But no. They're letting the enemy come in and take over. They're letting the enemy take over the knowledge and the wisdom that God give us. We have to turn our hearts and stuff back to God. We really do. We have to turn our hearts and stuff back to God. We say things that we regret, or we making unwise decisions, very unwise decisions, and we acting out of desperation, rather than wisdom. We're acting out of desperation rather than wisdom, because we're just, being in isolation for 2, almost 3 months. The first thing, because we're human. Humans aren't made to stay in the house like cats. We're not cats. We have to take our walks. We have to socialize. We have to go about our day. We have to stay busy. That's what we're so used to. But to be isolated for almost 2 months, and I think that's what the enemy wants to. That's why they're saying, "Oh, minority this and oh, minority that." We're the first ones to get this. We're the first ones to get that. No, the devil is a liar. We've been fine all this here time, and all of a sudden this thing comes, and it's supposed to be wiping us out. In my heart, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe there's other things that's going on behind the scenes that's helping wiping us out. Maybe taking away a ventilator too soon, or putting people on ventilators that shouldn't be, or saying that a person has something and they don't, because it's the devil's trying to get into your mind where if you cough, that ain't right to cough no more. When you've been coughing, we're human. We're gonna cough. We're human. We're gonna sneeze. We're human. We're gonna pass gas. We're human. So it's allergy season, and it's still flu season. So some ailments you're going to get, and it's not no COVID-19. You have to know your body. You have to know your body. And if you know your body, you know something, what's right and what's really, really wrong. Don't let nobody tell you what's wrong with you. You're supposed to be telling them what's wrong with you. And that's our downfall, because we get nervous or scared. So what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? So they're going to diagnose you with anything. Well, we just tell them this, we just tell them that. Here, take this pill, take that pill. Give you all the wrong things. We take out the time to know you. We've been in isolation for almost 2 months. If you don't know you by now, you'll never know. You'll never know. Because you had time enough to sit there and self-evaluate yourself. So when you come out of this thing, you got to come out better. We all have to come out better. And if this doesn't put you closer to God, and sometimes, I thought things would somewhat turn the heart, but after seeing all this crazy stuff and whatnot, I think it's trying to take us back a little. It's trying to take us back a little. Because when we get a little peace and a little harmony going on, and we starting to say excuse me and thank you, and you go ahead first and stuff like that, being a little, have a little courtesy. Here comes the devil. No, they started to be too nice to each other. We gotta throw a monkey wrench on in there. Get everybody mad. We have to use the knowledge and the wisdom that God gave us. When your back is upside that wall, we have to, you can come out fighting, but come out fighting with this, and come out fighting with this, knowing what to say, and come out fighting with this. Think, listen, and then speak. Think, listen, and then speak. Or should I say, listen, think about it, and then speak. That's better. Listen, think about it, and then speak. Don't be so quick to jump the gun. As they say, don't put the horse in front of the chariot, because it ain't going to go nowhere. It ain't going to go nowhere. And right now, everybody's putting the horse in front of the chariot because nobody's dependent on him. Nobody think that he can do it. They think that they can do it. And it's not cool. We're going to lose a lot more people this way. A lot more people this way. So we have to put God back into the situation. We do. We have to start praying. We need our prayer warriors, around the clock. Around the clock. We need to talk to these young people that destroying stuff, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Wisdom and knowledge, that's the answer. To get wise decisions is the answer. Because we got this, and we as the people, we know how to stick together, and we could stick together throwing bricks and burning down bridges. Imagine if we got together and just make things sensible. It only takes a small group to lead a large crowd. It only takes a few people to lead a large crowd. Yep. And if you can get their attention, if one man who passed away got all this attention and got everybody out there fighting for him, fighting for justice, then if we're going to fight for justice, let's do it the right way. Let's put God back in the mix, and let's get back to prayer. Putting prayer in everything that we do before we go out there to fight the enemy. You got to put on that full armor of God. You have to. You have to. You have to. Like they say, wear that mask. You got to put on your full armor of God with it. That's your hedge of protection. So I just wanted to come on here and just, it's just sad to see the destruction that's going on. That's what I don't like. I don't like the destruction that's going on because it's taking us backwards. It's taking us backwards. And like they say, it's got some good cops out there and it got some bad cops out there. But some people, they just see them all as the same. And it's not a good thing. Why? Because I have family that's in NYPD. And I wouldn't want nothing to happen to them because of a few bad cops. But once they see that blue, that's all they see. Everybody's blue, everybody got a gun, you're all the same. You're all the same. And that's not true. But that's how the enemy will have you thinking. They all ain't no good. They're all the same. So we're going to pray that, God even gets into this and give justice to that family, to the Floyd family. that they'll come out victorious, that they will get the justice served, you know, that they need, that those daughters, you know, they'll be growing up without a dad, but they will always cherish his memories, and even get into something where they will keep his keep his legacy alive. There's a lot of things you can do, you know, instead of doing it in a violent way. We have to be more productive at what we do, even when it comes to protesting. We have to come out swinging better, not bitter. We have to come out swinging better. Yes, we have to come out swinging better. So, on that note, I'm going to end this video by saying we need prayer. We need prayer for the world. We need prayer. Because this 1 second trigger, we don't need nothing else. We don't need nothing else. We need to get better. Have to get better. So, say a little prayer for our country, you know, and I would like for you guys to pray, you know, to bow your heads and pray with me, because we need as many intercessors out there as possible, as many intercessors as possible. If you could talk to one teenager, he'll talk to somebody else, you know, and it'll be a chain effect. But we have to put prayer back in stuff. We have to start speaking, you know, and letting people know that Jesus is real, and he's the fix of everything, that you can imagine, everything that you can see. He is just omnipresent. He's everywhere. So yes, he's the only one that can be 1,000 places, 1,000,000 places at one time. That's the God we serve. That's how big he is. So we have to start putting trust back into him. We have to start believing back in him. Father God, in the mighty name of Jesus, I ask that you put a head of protection around those families that have lost their loved ones. Not only the Floyd family, Lord God, but families that have lost loved ones during all this protesting and violence, Lord God. We ask that you heal the land, oh God, that you get back into the mix, oh God, that only you can bring us out, and that once you come in, we know that we're going to be all right. Father God, you're a way maker, you're omnipresent. You said run to you, and we will be, oh God, we just need you. We need you. We need you. We need you so, so bad, oh God. We living in dying times, oh God. Dying times, oh God. And we ask that you come and send healing, restoration to our people. Change the hearts and minds of our politicians, oh God, that they would be better and not bickering with each other, oh God. We need a cure for this pandemic, oh God, where we can get back our lives, oh God, that we can live in harmony, oh God, have some type of oh God, some type of, oh Jesus, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, glory to your name, oh God, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, glory, 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 glory. We need you, oh God. Hallelujah. Send healing to the land, oh God. Hallelujah. Send peace to the land. Hallelujah, oh God. Save our children, Lord Jesus. Hallelujah. Only you can do it, oh God. Oh, glory to your name. Hallelujah. Oh, we thank you and we praise you, oh God. Hallelujah. Keep the death in you away, oh God. Glory to your name, Lord God. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And we thank you and we praise you and we lift you up, oh God. You're a heart fixer, oh God. You're a mender of families, oh God. We need you to bring back unity, Lord Jesus. Hallelujah. And make all ways straight, Lord God. And for those that have blood on their hands, oh God, you said vengeance is yours, oh God. And we leave that in your hands, oh God, that only you can fix, oh God. Let our hearts not be hasty, oh God, to run after those things that are not right. Let us come into you, oh God. Reveal yourself to us, oh God, that our hearts and minds may turn to you for our help and our strength and and to be redeemed, oh God. Lord Father, if we have done things that wasn't pleasing to your eyes or to your ears or to your heart, oh God, we would repent as of now, oh God. Save all those protesters, oh God, that was out there doing violent things, oh God. Change their hearts and their minds, oh God. Save them in the mighty name of Jesus. And we thank you and we praise you and we lift you up, oh God. We magnify your name, oh God. We give you the honor, the glory, and the praise, oh God. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, glory to your name, God. Hallelujah. You guys pray for me as I pray for you. And as we keep praying, oh God, to a dying world, we ask for peace, joy, and happiness, and everlasting life, oh God. That we could only get that everlasting life, oh God, if we turn our hearts to you. And we thank you and we praise you and we lift you up. You guys have a blessed night. I pray that you and your families keep well. Until the next time, this is your girl, Deborah Catcher by Faith, saying, keep God first in all that you do. Let him guide your heart, your mind, and your tongue. And pray for your neighbors. Pray for our young people. Pray for our politicians. Pray for me as I pray for you. And I thank you for another night of Let's Talk. This is your girl, Deborah Catcher by Faith, saying, if nobody said that they love you, you know that I do. Peace.